In today's top stories, a local double murder suspect expected in court today. What we know this morning. And a bike share program takes off in Fayetteville today. How VO Ride could help the community. 4029 News starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News Sunrise on the Arkansas CW.
Good Wednesday morning. You're watching 4029 News Sunrise. I'm Jamie Weiss, and it is a absolutely beautiful day here in Northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley. We're taking a live look out over the Chancellor Hotel camera in Fayetteville. Not a cloud in the sky. Absolutely beautiful. But is that going to change? We're going to send it over to 4029 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. And Brendan, it's beautiful, but are we going to start to see some rain in the area?
Yeah, by the weekend. So the good news is for folks that like the summer feel, it's going to be here for the next couple of days. Once we hit the weekend, those kind of folks that are hoping for a little bit of fall weather may actually start to get a little bit happier as those temperatures fall back. Right now, Rogers, I-49, starting to improve a little bit after that morning rush. It is a little bit warm to start this Wednesday morning. Temperatures already in the upper 70s with dew points also in the 70s. So it's a bit of a tropical field. Humidity's at 84%, so it feels muggy out there. 79 right now in Fort Smith, 79 as well as in Springdale, 81 in Rogers, and 82 in Sallisaw. So some places already breaking that 80-degree mark, and just about everybody has a 70 or above dew point. As we mentioned, not a cloud in the sky, lots of sunshine to start. All the rain up to the north with this draped frontal boundary over the Midwest and the stationary front, which runs back into the northern plains. This area actually could see some severe weather today, but this front will be dropping to the south over the next couple of days, and that is where the change will come in. In the meantime, we've got to get ready for the heat and humidity. 90 today across northwest Arkansas with a very slight chance for a pop-up shower, maybe a clap of thunder. A little bit warmer in the River Valley, mid-90s, but with all that humidity, expect that air temperature not to actually feel what it will feel like to the surface of your skin. We very well could see those heat index values make a run towards 100 degrees. More on those weekend rain chances in the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
Well, Fayetteville officials want to talk to you about internet quality and affordability. Mayor Lionel Jordan and the Digital Inclusion Task Force are inviting citizens to a discussion about the state of internet service in Fayetteville. Representatives from 3 local broadband providers will attend, and that's all happening tonight in the Walker Room of the Fayetteville Public Library starting at 5:30. And the Department of Interior releases funds for state outdoor recreation and conservation, and our area gets a piece of it. Arkansas received $1.2 million from the Land and Water Conservation Fund. Oklahoma got about $1.4 million, and money from the fund goes to all 50 states, U.S. territories, and Washington, D.C. too. All funding comes from non-taxpayer dollars and is awarded through grants by the National Park Service. Turning to our state of addiction coverage, dozens of people rally at the Oklahoma State Capitol with this message: don't punish pain. Patients with chronic pain say their prescriptions are getting cut as doctors and lawmakers try to stop the cycle of addiction. The group at the Capitol says they feel like they're being unfairly targeted by the opioid crisis.
Because they've cut it down so much, my nights are terrible. You think getting some rest laying down in bed would help? No, it's just miserable.
Several similar rallies were held across the nation on Tuesday. And the 2018 flu season is right around the corner. Today, we could learn more about how officials in Arkansas are preparing for the virus. They'll meet this morning at 9:30 in Little Rock to discuss what they're going to be doing to get ready. Last year's flu season was especially dangerous for our area. Both Arkansas and Oklahoma reported more than 200 deaths due to the flu. And this flu season, experts say we could be able to expect a less active year than normal. One doctor with the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases says we can usually get a clue about what to expect by taking a look at the Australian flu season. He says so far the season there has been, quote, generally lighter than usual. You shouldn't let your guard down, though. He says it's still a disease's nature to be unpredictable. And doctors are also encouraging you to go ahead and get your flu shot ahead of this upcoming flu season. The CDC says you should be vaccinated by the end of October. The exact timing of flu season varies each year, but experts say it's typically at its worst from December to February. And if you remember last season, we reported on flu-related deaths all the way into May. Oh, it was a miserable spring. But for the first time in 2 years, the CDC is recommending a nasal spray vaccine. This flu season, the spray was previously passed up for recommendation because it wasn't effective against a certain strain of the virus. Now the CDC says there is a new formula. Some doctors say the spray may be easier, but they recommend it be avoided for people with a compromised immune system, since it contains a live flu virus. And for children, doctors are recommending they get vaccinated as soon as shots are available. They say any kid 6 months or older should be vaccinated as soon as possible. And the flu shot is actually the best choice for kids. The nasal spray is still a safe option for kids that are 2 years or older. And experts with the American Academy of Pediatrics say kids between 6 months and 8 years old need 2 doses of the vaccine if they've never been given it before. And after they turn 9, kids only need 1 dose, regardless of their medical history. The group also says you shouldn't worry if your children have an egg allergy, but you should still talk to your doctor if you have a concern about possible reactions to the shot. And to help reduce your chances of contracting the flu this year, experts say you can take a few simple precautions. They say getting vaccinated is the most effective action you can take. Also, wash your hands. Don't go to school or work while sick. Cover your coughs and sneezes, and try not to touch your face, because each time you touch your face, you have a chance of introducing new germs. Well, let's change things up. No more flu. Let's get a check of the roads with 4029's Brendan Johnson.
Yeah, good morning. Seeing the improvement on the traffic maps, which is some good news after that morning rush for everybody to make it to work. I-49 really is seeing a great improvement there, both on the cameras and on the maps this morning. If you remember, just about an hour ago, that traffic was backed up all the way there in front of Mercy Hospital. But we're starting to see some improvement there on 71 coming in from Southwest Missouri. Local roads also seeing a reduction there in traffic. I-49 through Washington County has been clear all morning long. 71 still some slowdown spots at the traffic lights. I-40 in the River Valley clear in both directions, and no issues in and around downtown Fort Smith. Of course, we'll keep you updated with any changes.
The East Coast beginning to recover after Hurricane Florence. The dangers residents now face and who will visit the areas affected today. Plus, a defense spending bill passes the Senate. How local lawmakers are reacting to the package.
And warm and humid today, but we are watching for a change this weekend. We'll have that complete 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
Welcome back now to the Carolinas and the record flooding triggering thousands of water rescues and leaving people stranded. Today, President Trump will visit North Carolina to see the damage. ABC's Emily Rao has been in Wilmington for over a week.
The water rescues in North Carolina continue this morning. Coast Guard crews airlifting families and their pets to safety.
We've never seen it like this before. Never seen nothing like this before.
As rivers swell even higher after Florence dumped more than 8 trillion gallons of water, officials now forced to close bridges in Fayetteville, leaving even longtime residents stunned.
You know, I've been through quite a few. This is probably the worst rain event that I've seen.
In Wilmington, lines stretched around the block, people waiting for hours for food and water.
It just sat over us for so long and dropped so much water.
As others return to their homes to survey the damage.
The tree basically crushed the house in half.
Jacksonville resident Michael White losing everything.
You can't replace this, you know what I mean? It's too much love, too much years, too much blood, sweat, and tears.
And another tragedy yesterday in South Carolina. Sheriff's deputies transporting 2 women who were mental health patients when floodwaters overtook the van they were in, and those deputies unable to get the women out in time. Emily Rao, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wow, and the road to recovery has begun in the wake of Florence. Helping out in North Carolina is a paramedic from Northwest Arkansas. Scott Bird of Fayetteville is serving on the Disaster Medical Assistance Team. Now, since Florence made rainfall, that team has helped at 2 evacuation shelters in Virginia and 4 evacuation shelters in North Carolina. The Senate pushes through a defense appropriations package. How the funding group could help right here at home.
And we've got a change on the way for the weekend, cooler and more rainy. We'll talk more about that in the 7-day forecast coming up next.
Ahoy, mateys! It's International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So for the rest of this Wednesday, make sure to pepper your speech with plenty of phrases like "Arr, land ho," and "Aye aye, Captain." If you have a pirate handy, place it on your shoulder, or better yet, grab an eye patch and a peg leg. This special day was created in 1995 by pirate enthusiasts John Bauer and Mark Summers. I can't do it anymore. Also known as Old Chumbucket and Captain Slappy. I'm trying to channel my inner pirate Paul here.
Yeah, Paul Petit, definitely the pirate speaker.
Pirate speaker.
I feel like he
For
was
sure.
a pirate in a previous life or something. He really.
Well, I'd like to see you do the weather with a pirate
absolutely
speech.
Not. Nope.
It's a good day to get out on the sea, look for some treasure, walk the plank. Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, tropical, certainly tropical. That's where the pirates spend all their time. It certainly feels that way. No, you're not getting a pirate forecast. That would be disastrous. People are trying to start their Wednesdays, and I don't think that's how they want to cap off the middle of the week. Lots of sunshine, though, if you're heading out and about this Wednesday morning. Not a cloud there in the sky over Fayetteville. Here's the bad news about this upcoming forecast for about the next 48 hours. If you like the heat and humidity, you like that summer feel, it's here to stay for a little bit. Along and south of I-40 today, heat index values making another run towards 100 degrees. So even though we're approaching the beginning of fall, 3 days away, summer's grasp is still holding on. By 5 o'clock and even into that mid-afternoon hour, I think the heat index values will be a little bit closer to that air temperature in northwest Arkansas, but a little bit more moisture in the River Valley, and that's where we'll likely see those triple-digit heat index values. Things are going to change, though, as we head into the weekend. We are watching for this cold front to drop down from the north, and with it, bringing a chance for rain. We've got moisture working in, and this front will actually lift some of that up to give us some pretty good showers and storms through the day on Friday, continuing into the afternoon and into the evening. Right now, about a 50% chance, and the cloud cover and the rain will take those temperatures back into the 80s for us, and then we emerge into next week in the mid-80s across the River Valley. For those of us in northwest Arkansas, 90s for the next couple of days. With all that cloud cover and rain, we could find ourselves in the mid and upper 70s on Saturday and Sunday, and then we're back towards 80 degrees by next Monday and Tuesday.
Well, thanks, Brendan. Time is now 9:44, and a man suspected of murdering 2 people in Fort Smith is expected to appear in court today. 4029's Ify Bosimba joins us from the Sebastian County Court with what we can expect.
29-year-old Marcus Collins is expected here in Fort Smith in court this morning. He was arrested last week on first-degree murder and other charges. Collins was originally arrested in Memphis, Tennessee, and then was brought back to the Sebastian County Detention Center. He's accused of killing 26-year-old Breonna Bletcher and 43-year-old Jonathan Harris in July. The victims were found shot to death in an apartment in Fort Smith. Investigators believe they were killed during a robbery. Another man, 19-year-old Nerod Medlock, has also been arrested in connection to the killings. Collins is expected to appear before a judge here in Fort Smith at 8:30. In Fort Smith, Ify Bosimba, 4029 News.
And another local man is expected in court today, suspected of human trafficking. 56-year-old Barry Register is expected at the Washington County Court this morning at 7:45. He's accused of forcing a woman to take drugs and have sex for money. Register faces 9 felony charges, including aggravated assault and false imprisonment, on top of human trafficking. Detention records say he's in the Washington County Jail on a $50,000 bond. And happening now, Rogers police are looking for 2 aggravated burglary suspects. They're accused of holding 2 people at gunpoint while ransacking a home on Tuesday. When police arrived, they say the suspects ran away and fired several shots. Police say they don't have a good description of the suspects since they were covering their faces. Now, police are considering those 2 suspects to be armed and dangerous, but they don't believe there is an immediate threat to the public at this time. If you have any information, you are asked to call the Rogers Police Department. A former Arkansas lawmaker pleads not guilty to federal charges. Former state senator Jeremy Hutchinson made his first court appearance on Tuesday. He's the nephew of Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson. Now, he's accused of spending thousands of dollars in campaign funds on trips, groceries, and other personal expenses. He was charged with 8 counts of wire fraud and 4 counts of filing false tax returns last month. And this morning, a new bike share program launches in the community. City officials say they hope it helps with traffic. 4029's Joshua Cole joins us this morning with more on the bikes and where to find them.
See bikes like this pop up all over Fayetteville as part of the new bike sharing program to help you get around. It's called VioRide and allows you to find a bike on an app, rent it, and use the bike for a low cost. We have a lot of hills in the area, so to help, Fayetteville is one of the first cities with the program to get 50 e-bikes or pedal electric assist.
So when you pedal the bicycle, there's a motor in it that helps you pedal, and so especially going up hills is much easier on e-bikes. So we really think it'll help lower the barrier to biking for folks in the community, because hills and our topography is such a challenge for folks here in Fayetteville.
Fayetteville officials say that when you're done using the bike, you just park it and leave it at any bike rack or convenient spot for someone else to be able to use to get around Fayetteville or the U of A campus. We're in Fayetteville. I'm Joshua Cole, 4029 News.
In Michigan, a new bill proposed in Detroit takes aim at ammunition instead of weapons when fighting gun violence. The bill would require a mental health background check on people who buy bullets, as well as limit the amount of purchased ammunition. On top of that, bullets would have to be bought from a law enforcement agency.
Bullet bill movement is also in line, as I mentioned, with California proposed legislation which mandates serial numbers and other traceable markings on ammunition so that the police can more easily track them.
Davis dedicated his life to preventing future gun tragedies after the death of his younger brother. And the gun debate, of course, a divisive issue across the country. Earlier this week, we heard from one local advocate of the Second Amendment. He says he doesn't know if he'd say more people want to get rid of guns today, but he is aware of that group.
We got to remember the Second Amendment is part of our original Bill of Rights. And anytime you talk about doing anything with the Bill of Rights, whether it's freedom of the press or the right to keep and bear arms, it's a serious thing. It's not.
Garrett is a firearms instructor at GI Guns and Ammo in Rogers. He teaches classes for concealed carry and enhanced carry and says gun rights debate is at the top of mind for most people these days. And new developments in the battle over the Supreme Court. The woman accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault now says she's willing to testify on Capitol Hill, but only after an FBI investigation. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with details.
This morning, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford standing firm. No FBI investigation, no testimony. In a letter to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, obtained by ABC News, Ford's lawyers writing, quote, a full investigation by law enforcement officials will ensure the crucial facts and witnesses in this matter are assessed in a nonpartisan manner, and that the committee is fully informed before conducting any hearing. Adding Ford's life has been turned upside down and she will not be appearing on Capitol Hill on Monday. Overnight, Grassley responding in a statement, Dr. Ford's testimony would reflect her personal knowledge and memory of events. Nothing the FBI or any other investigator does would have any bearing on what Dr. Ford tells the committee, so there is no reason for any further delay.
I don't think the FBI really should be involved because they don't want to be involved.
The FBI has already completed one background check on Kavanaugh. President Trump could request another to look at the new investigation, but the president making it clear he has no intention to do so. Ford is accusing Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her when he was drunk at a high school party in the 1980s. Kavanaugh emphatically denies the allegations. But Democrats are coming to Ford's defense, insisting the FBI should investigate the alleged assault and the hearing should be delayed.
That, at least for now, seems unlikely, with the committee chair saying Dr. Ford was offered a public or a private hearing, whichever made her most comfortable, and that the invitation for Monday still stands. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Well, for more political coverage, tune in to 4029 News Sundays. For Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien. You can catch it at 5:30 or 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings and again at 11:30 each Sunday night. And in your Get Ready traffic coverage, a local road won't be closed just yet. Work on Beaver Dam in Carroll County was supposed to begin yesterday, but instead has been put on hold until October 2nd. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says delivery issues are causing that delay. That would have closed the section of Arkansas Highway 187 that passes over the dam. Now the stretch of road will remain open until crews begin their repair. So pretty good, still kind of warm out, but for people driving over, let's see a check of the roads with 4029's Brendan Johnson.
Yeah, good morning. Lots of sunshine out there. You might need a pair of sunglasses if you're hitting the roads this mid-morning. Traffic volume really taking a step back once folks made it to work there at the top of the hour. Right now, I-49 throughout Benton County in good shape. Coming in from southwest Missouri from Bella Vista to Bentonville and Rogers, seeing a little bit of stop and go. Right now, Fulbright, Garland doing just fine in Fayetteville, and both lanes of I-40 all clear throughout the River Valley, and we're all good in and around downtown Fort Smith.